Hello and welcome to day 11, our penultimate day of our 12 days of English Single Malt whiskies. I'm joined by Mr. Luke John himself.
Konnichiwa.
And today we are going to be taking a look at one of the bigger players at the moment, Cotswold Distillery. They were established in 2014, which in the scheme of things is young, but in terms of English whiskey, one of the old ones.
Yeah.
They're based in Stoughton, which is about 5 miles from Hook Norton and 8 miles from Moreton in the Marsh, which is a very picturesque Cotswold town that all the tourists go to.
Oh.
Yes. So they probably do have a bit of trade through tourists coming through in that area because they're lovely little villages and towns. Their first release was in October 2017, and it was a single malt. That's what they went straight for. And they tend to do limited, smaller batches. They have raised quite a lot of money by crowdfunding through the years to expand not only the distilling process that they're undertaking, but mainly it's the investment in hogsheads, the casks. So they've raised about £4 million in total across a few different fundraising. They've spent money on the visitor centre and other areas like that as well. So when I say big, I mean it's big, but not as big as what you would look at up in Scotland.
Yeah.
So the grain is local from local farms nearby. They get their malting done locally as well in Warminster, and but more interesting about what we've got here. They release this yearly, but it's not guaranteed to be the same because what they're doing is they're selecting sherry hogsheads and different types of hogsheads from Spain. So their supplier is Miguel Martin, which is one of the big and oldest sherry cask makers in Spain, who also supply Kilockham. Yeah, up in Scotland. But so this one here is a sherry infused. I'm not too sure of the actual barrels and everything it's gone in, as I say, because it changes yearly. It's what they're able to get their hands on. The water that's gone into this is from the village, but they soften it and they remove minerals. I'm expecting something soft, even if it hasn't been distilled 3 times.
Yeah.
Just with that water changes they've made. Let's get this opened.
And while Liam does that, I will say on the packaging section of the show that it does come in a very nice presentation box. I really do like it when distilleries go out the way to put their bottles in packaging. It just really adds a new layer to like if it's a gift, it's fantastic. If you want to put it on your shelf, it looks great. And it always keeps the bottle that little bit safe as well in case if anything should happen.
Yeah. So I was just saying, with regards to their investment, when they've done casks and everything else, it does seem like they age about 4,000 casks. They've got space for 4,000, which is, by English standards, it's a huge number. But one thing that I alluded to many days ago, and it was about the aging process. And you notice we don't have many age statement ones.
Yeah.
But one thing that Cotswold have said, and I've seen in other places as well, is that the whiskey matures quicker because of the climate. We're further south than Scotland, and they say that all up there it's aging for 5 years, but down here it can be done in 3.5 due to the seasons and temperatures. It's an interesting point. I just am not qualified enough to go into it.
Yeah. And I'm certainly not.
I don't know why I said no, immediately agreeing. But yeah. So a look on this. It is one of the darker ones that we've got in here. It looks quite dark in the bottle. Always, when you pour it out, because it's a smaller volume that you've got there, you get a different color on it. I don't know if the light is doing that justice, or should we show the bottle?
We can do it through the bottle.
Yeah, if I just hold that up. Oh, you can't even see because
it's that dark.
Yeah, it is quite dark in that. As perhaps to be expected with its finishing in a sherry cask. Right, let's get a whiff on this on the nose.
Oh, quite acetone.
Yeah, immediately why I bent down to look at the ABV. 57%, I think it's up there. I think I caught the sign of 57 as it was spinning round there. Yeah, it's a big hitter. Vanilla alongside that.
Yeah.
I'm getting vanilla tones and notes, but just double checking. Yeah, 57.4.
Yeah, vanilla, a little bit of sweetness. A little bit of maybe butterscotch.
Yeah, that sweetness though is what's interesting, because that's what's going to coat the mouth. That sweetness afterwards is going to stay in there from the sherry, and that's what's going to be interesting.
We'll find out, shall we?
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers, sir. Take care.
Very oily, very thick. Little sweetness, not a lot of heat.
It as you're saying, it does just coat. It's all over. I'm just letting the flavour settle in and balance a little. It's sweet, but it's a delicate sweetness on there. I don't think anything's made it overpowering, but there is. It's not caramel, it's not vanilla. There's something that's pushing through.
Kind of like a prune, fig, that type of thing. It's like definitely like a dried fruit element going on there, but it's not a bad whiskey by any means. Yeah, it is thick. If there was a dessert whiskey, this would probably be it.
Yeah. I like the idea of that. We should start that now. You get dessert wines, why not dessert whiskey? Oh, actually, they're just whiskey chasers, but yeah. All right, go in for our second taste. See if it has any impact on the palate going through.
Slightly more acetone.
A slight heat towards the back of the tongue for me on that, but I am salivating quite a lot at the front now with how that whiskey's gone. It does coat everywhere.
Yeah. Which is not a bad thing.
No, that's good. That's good. I'm just trying to appreciate and identify some of the more subtle flavors that are there, because sherry wines, there's so many different flavors that are potentially in them. So when you're aging in a barrel, it could pick up any number of elements from it at a stage. But it's probably one of the thickest ones, but it probably is the thickest one that we've had.
Yeah. By a country mile, I would say.
Yeah, there's a good body on that.
Or a Cotswold's country mile.
Oh, the Cotswold lanes are at least better than some of the ones Cornwall and Devon. All right, pipette, adding 2 drops of water to try and break through the oil there and release some other flavors. See, that's just immediately for me brought out more on brown sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned in yesterday's video, like creme brulee.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is right on there. that nice little caramelized sugar going on. Yeah.
It smells better with the drop added. I'm going to be honest there. Sometimes that's the case. I always think it may be the occasion where something smells better. You have a drop added there, and you smell that and drink the undropped one.
Yeah.
Just so you can get the best of both worlds. Right. Let's see how this changes the profile of this, if at all.
I think it's changed it for the worse.
Because it's removed the delicateness of and sweetness from it. It's brought out more of the drying, more of the heat.
Yep.
Yeah, that heat is still, it's sitting under my tongue right now
Yeah.
at the front. It's just, the heat is there, and I'm like, okay, are you going to die down a bit so you can give me some more of the flavors?
Yeah, I certainly would just have it with no water added.
Yeah. It smells good with a drop of water, but without the water, that is a decent sherry single malt.
Yep. I like it. If you've tried it, let us know in the comments below. If you haven't tried it, why not go out and buy it? And if you do buy it, let us know.
Well, on buying side, I think they're about £75 maybe for these. Don't forget, it costs a lot to be buying those sherry butts, the big hogsheads they are, and bring them over. So there is a price.
But we're £75, don't forget. You get a free box. So yeah, thank you for joining us on another video. As we said, this is the penultimate. We have got one left, and we hope it's going to be something very special and unique. So thanks for joining. Please do like, subscribe, and share if you can, and we will catch you for the final day tomorrow. Adios.